Somebody got stabbed on the front porch.
Okay, a female?
It sounded like a female. I don't know. It looks like he's bloody, though. I mean, it could have been him screaming.
New tonight at 10, newly released body cam video showing the moment officers arrested a man accused of stabbing his parents, leaving his mother dead. Thanks for joining us at 10. I'm Tricia Mackey.
Just before 4 o'clock in the afternoon, on a regular Friday in August, in a quiet residential neighborhood on Palmhill Lane in Greene Township, Ohio, something happened inside a family home that nobody on that street will ever forget. Barbara Mortimer was 75 years old. Her husband Tom was the same age. By every account, they were an ordinary retired couple. People who had spent their lives building something, raising a family, trying to do right by the people they loved. And they were still doing right by them, right up until the very end. That afternoon, their 40-year-old son Kenneth was at the house. This was not unusual. Kenneth had a complicated history, a long, documented struggle with alcohol, run-ins with the law, and a serious episode 2 years earlier that had landed him in a psychiatric hospital in Michigan for 5 months. His parents had been carrying him, the way parents do when they love someone and refuse to give up on them. But that Friday, something shifted. Kenneth's behavior had become erratic enough that Barbara made a decision. She told him he could not stay the night, and she told her husband Tom to call the crisis line, the psychiatric services unit that had helped him navigate Kenneth's worst moments before. That phone call never happened. The moment Kenneth heard those words, the moment he realized they were going to make that call, he got up, walked into the kitchen, and came back with the largest knife in the house. What happened over the next several minutes, inside that living room and on that front lawn, was so violent, so complete in its brutality, that when the first police officer arrived and found Tom Mortimer sitting on the front porch, drenched in blood, all Tom could do was point and say his son's name. Barbara did not make it. How does a 40-year-old man, sitting inside his parents' living room on an ordinary afternoon, go from that moment to this? What did the police body cameras capture when they walked through that front door? And what did Kenneth Mortimer say when officers put him in that interrogation room and asked him directly what he had done? Stay right here, because this story does not get easier, but it does get answered. Before we go any further, tell us in the comments where you are watching from today. We want to know how far the decoder reaches. Drop your city or country below. And if this story already has you locked in, hit that like button now. Let's get into it.
That's who it was.
I just want to make sure he's gone, for sure.
We cleared the house.
Okay.
Tyler and I did.
Okay.
We cleared the house, and we have witnesses saying he drove.
So.
Okay.
They both did or just one?
For now,
He was Mirandized and started blurring out that he stabbed his mom and all this other stuff.
Okay. Awesome. Whose car is he in? Okay. Thank you guys
for getting his hands, I guess, were cut or something. He wanted stitches.
Yeah. Probably going to the spot. Yeah.
We haven't searched the car yet.
Okay.
All the other are trash earlier, and the other line up.
Listen. Is that his always?
Yes.
Hey, I remember you. You remember me on that one night?
I sure do.
I didn't stab my mom. I had a good time when they drove me up to Michigan, too. The guy in the cell next to me offered me Seroquel. I denied. I politely declined.
10, I'm Tricia Mackey.
And I'm Rob Williams. Chancellor Wynne joins us live at the Hamilton County Justice Center downtown after taking a closer look at the video.
Yeah, so 40-year-old Kenneth Mortimer is the man accused of stabbing both of his parents, killing his mother. Now, he's currently behind bars here at the Hamilton County Justice Center facing multiple charges, including murder and attempted murder. Now, in this newly released Officer Warren body camera video, you'll actually hear as Mortimer's father tells officers his son is the one who stabbed them. Newly released body camera footage showing the moments Green Township police arrive on scene of a deadly stabbing. It happened Friday evening on Palmhill Lane, and almost immediately, officers find one of the victims, a 75-year-old man, bloody and sitting on his front porch. The man tells officers his son, 40-year-old Kenneth Mortimer, grabbed a knife and started stabbing him and his 74-year-old wife.
Who did this?
My son.
Okay, and what's his name? Kenneth
Mortimer.
Okay. What happened?
He just went crazy, grabbed a knife and started stabbing us.
Okay. Did he stab both you and, is that your wife?
Yeah.
Okay, he stabbed both of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
According to court documents, Mortimer and his parents got into an argument when Mortimer's mother told his father to call psychiatric services. Court documents state Mortimer grabbed the knife from the kitchen and began stabbing his parents. Mortimer's mother tried to run, but he chased her down and continued stabbing her before taking off in a car.
We read him as right as he was because he was already spilling stuff immediately.
Mortimer was detained a short while later in Mount Airy Forest by Cincinnati police before Green Township officers arrived.
Hey, I remember you. You remember me that one night?
I sure do.
I didn't stab my mom.
You can hear that officer say Mortimer previously was arrested for public indecency. Court records show that arrest happened in October of last year, and in late January, Mortimer violated probation for, quote, failure to do special condition corrective thinking.
If you motherfuckers didn't drive me down to that hospital the last week of January, this would have never happened.
Now, Mortimer was taken to the Green Township Police Department, where court documents state he confessed to stabbing his parents. He's scheduled to appear back in court on August 15th. But for now, reporting live from the Hamilton County Justice Center with photojournalist Christopher Waldman, I'm Chancellor Wynn, Box 19 Now.
Chancellor, thank you. Indicted in a deadly stabbing attack that prosecutors are calling horrifying.
So Jessica Schmidt is at the alert desk with the new information on this case.
Yes, a 40-year-old Kenneth Mortimer is accused of killing his mother and of attacking his father with a knife. And now a grand jury has indicted him for a list of charges, including aggravated murder, kidnapping, assault, and attempted murder. Green Township police say they were sent to a home on Palmhill Lane August 9th for a report of a stabbing. When they got there, as you're seeing in this body camera footage, they say they found Mortimer had gotten into a fight with his two parents, his 75-year-old mother Barbara and his 75-year-old father Thomas. Investigators believe Mortimer had been acting erratic, and so his parents indicated they were going to call to get him some help, which led to Mortimer grabbing a knife and stabbing both of his parents. Barbara died from her injuries. Thomas was hospitalized. After the attack, prosecutors say Mortimer took off in a car and was later found in that vehicle near the Mount Airy Forest, covered in blood. Prosecutor Melissa Powers says that her heart breaks for the family as Thomas and Barbara were trying to get their son some help, and he responded with unimaginable violence. Now, if convicted of all the charges he's facing, he could get life in prison without parole. At the alert desk, Jessica Schmidt, Fox 19 Now.
Jessica, thank you. Dry and calm conditions this week.
When Green Township officers pulled up to Palmhill Lane that afternoon, the scene that met them was immediate and unmistakable. Tom Mortimer, 75 years old, stabbed 3 times in the head, the neck, and the chest, was sitting upright on the front porch.
Where is she stabbed? Robert 50 down, 2 victims. Start me another squad, please.
Copy, 2 victims.
You're stabbed in the side. Where's your wife stabbed at? Okay, I'm gonna go check on her, okay? What's your son's name? What's his last name? Robert 15, it's a Kenneth.
Inside the house, Barbara Mortimer was on the floor, unresponsive. She had been stabbed multiple times. She was pronounced dead at the scene, according to the arrest affidavit. Here is exactly what unfolded in the minutes before police arrived. Kenneth was in the house with his parents. When Barbara told him he could not spend the night, and when she told Tom to call psychiatric services, Kenneth walked to the kitchen and retrieved the biggest knife he could find. He came back into the living room, where his parents were seated on the couch, and began stabbing his father. Tom Mortimer was stabbed repeatedly before Barbara managed to get to her feet and run. She made it out the front door. Kenneth went after her. He caught up to her on the front lawn, took her to ground, and dragged her back inside the house. He stabbed her multiple times once she was back inside. He then walked to his car and drove away. Cincinnati police officers spotted him a short time later near Mt. Airy, a neighboring area just outside Green Township. His clothing was soaked in blood. The inside of his vehicle was soaked in blood. He was detained without resistance and transported to the Green Township Police Department. According to one of the arresting officers, Kenneth did not wait to be questioned. He started talking the moment they put him in the car. "We read him his rights," the officer said, because he was already spilling stuff immediately. Once inside the station, Kenneth Mortimer confessed to stabbing both of his parents. Kenneth Mortimer was charged initially with aggravated murder, attempted murder, felonious assault, and kidnapping. He was held at the Hamilton County Justice Center on a $2 million cash bond. In late 2024, a judge found him competent to stand trial. Then on August 8, 2025, the day before the one-year anniversary of the attack, Kenneth Mortimer appeared before Hamilton County Common, pleased Judge Chris Wagner, and entered guilty pleas to involuntary manslaughter, attempted murder, kidnapping, and felonious assault. There was no trial. He stood before the court and accepted responsibility for every charge. The sentencing came the same day. Former Hamilton County Prosecutor Melissa Powers, who oversaw the case, did not hold back in her assessment. "It is absolutely horrifying," she said, "to think of the depravity required to brutally attack both of your parents. Killing one and nearly killing the other. Barbara and Thomas Mortimer were just trying to get their son the help he obviously needed, and he responded with unimaginable violence." Barbara Mortimer's sister, Janet Stansberry, stood before the judge and told the court what this case had done to everyone around it. "It changed my sense of safety and trust in others," she said. Judge Chris Wagner sentenced Kenneth Mortimer to a minimum of 45 years in Ohio State Prison. Kenneth Mortimer is 41 years old. He will be in his mid-80s, at the absolute earliest, before he is eligible for release. Do you think 45 years was the right sentence, or should Kenneth Mortimer have faced a longer term? Comment your honest opinion below. We read every single one. Barbara and Tom Mortimer were not naive. They knew their son. They had watched him struggle for years. The alcohol, the arrests, the 5 months locked inside a psychiatric hospital in Michigan in 2022. They had been through it all with him, and they had kept showing up, kept opening the door, kept trying. What makes this case so deeply painful is not just the violence. It is a specific cruelty of what triggered it. Barbara did not throw Kenneth out in anger. She did not cut him off. She told him he could not spend the night, and she asked her husband to call the people who were supposed to help him. That is not abandonment. That is a mother trying one more time to get her son the support he needed. And Kenneth's response to that was to walk into the kitchen and come back with a knife. The thing that the prosecutor's office said deserves to be repeated. Kenneth Mortimer, according to investigators, was afraid, not of his parents, but of being sent back to a psychiatric facility. He did not want to be hospitalized again. That fear, that refusal to accept help he clearly still needed, is what drove him to do what he did. Tom Mortimer survived 3 stab wounds to his head, his neck, and his chest. He lost his wife of decades on the same afternoon. He was nearly killed himself. He sat on that front porch, covered in blood, and watched police arrive at a house that would never be the same. Barbara Mortimer deserved better. She deserved to grow old with her husband. She deserved to see what came next. Instead, she was killed, dragged back into her own home by the son she had spent 40 years loving, and left on the floor. The Mortimer family will carry August 9th, 2024 for the rest of their lives. And Kenneth Mortimer will spend the next 4.5 decades inside an Ohio prison, with nothing but time to sit with what he threw away in those few minutes on Palmhill Lane. Rest in peace, Barbara Mortimer. If this story hit you, share it. Share for Tom. Share for Barbara's family. And subscribe to the Decoder so you never miss a case like this one. Tell us in the comments, what do you think needs to change so that families in crisis have better options before it reaches this point?